Yeah. Yeah, I would like to have enough to where we can run the like two crews. It's just keeping up with it is it becomes the challenge because like right now I can run, do all my paperwork and get all my like back end stuff done in the mornings, and then run our estimates in the afternoon, and then kind of do my follow up the following day, and it's worked out pretty good. And then when we I had a guy that was kind of like my floater, I should say, because he was kind of doing the same thing. I would have him go out and do my, little installs first thing in the morning, and then he would take the estimates in the afternoon. And it was working really great because I could keep everybody busy, and then I could kind of focus more on the backside stuff, keeping everything flowing. But it would just he didn't work out. It was just he started out strong, and then it just slowly just downhill, just making a lot of mistakes. And it
Yeah.
was always, oh man, I'm sorry, but I'm like, dude, it's like 2 to 3 a week, and constantly having to go back. Now we're like, going backwards. So I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Man, it's so tough to go from like that size to grow from there because it's like it takes so much of your resources to add that next crew. And it's like it seems like if you've got two crews, then you can almost just throw another guy in and
Yeah,
your existing team will kind of train that guy and it kind of frees you up.
yeah,
Until you get to that point, it's like it's just more pain, because
yeah,
it's like you don't really you have to be hands-on with every new hire and it's tough, man. It's tough to grow
yeah.
past that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like we've been stuck in this spot for, we've gone back and forth, and it's just like we'll get a good groove going, or then something will happen. Either I've got one crew that's slacking or making mistakes or whatever the case, and then we had some personality differences between the two crews, and then having to separate and like move guys around, and then it was just like couldn't find that sweet spot
Yeah.
and get past it. And it's just like kind of, one step forward and then okay, go, I've got to go back, you know. But I've got a pretty solid crew right now. It's just, you know, finding and it's like I give it up to them too. I'm like, hey, I could get somebody with experience, or I can run another guy. And because my I guess my helper right now, he's been in that position for almost 2 years now. So he's got a lot of experience, but he's young. He was pretty green when we picked him up,
Mhm.
and he's been voicing that he wants to move up, and he's almost there. He's almost ready. He moves really fast, and which is great in some aspects. But then I'm like, okay, you still need to kind of take your time because it is glass, and like just chill out a little.
Yeah.
But and so it's like right now it typically kind of slows down, wintertime. So I think once we get after the first of the year, spring rolls around, I think I might add another two guys or at least one guy to get him trained up, and then send my old helper to
Oh, we lost your audio. It doesn't look like you're muted or anything. Just stopped hearing you. Yeah, it's like yeah, it's really tricky just getting to just past that stage right there, man. It's like that's the tough spot. It's like when you're by yourself, you put on another person like a helper, and then that's tough because it's like really it until he gets trained up, unless he's really experienced or whatever. Until he gets trained up, it's like kind of just slowing you down. It's like it's almost like you're doing extra work. And when he catches on, he can kind of like at least hold his own, then it becomes kind of some help And then you put
Yeah.
on another person, then you're back to that same spot of where it's like it's taking some of your time, some of your energy, and actually slowing you down, causing more some mistakes and stuff like that. So you got to wait for
Yeah.
that second guy to get up to speed. Once that second guy gets up to speed, then that really frees you up.
Yeah.
Now you can kind of send those guys out and you can just focus on building the business, like whatever you're doing, measuring, ordering, everything else, right?
Yeah.
And then like when you put on another guy, it's kind of the same thing again. It's
Hmm.
really not until you get to about four installers to where you actually like don't have to, in my experience, um,
Yeah.
you don't have to stop doing what you're doing anymore to help somebody. The team can kind of train, the new guy.
Yeah.
You really start to get some freedom, but it's hard getting to that point, man. It's a young man's game, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then that's the thing is, I keep telling the guys I have now, I'm like, man, if I could get you guys to where if something does go wrong and you can kind of take it to where you can handle it,
Mhm.
whether it's, calling the supplier and getting a reorder, I was like, what I'm going to try and do is make it work as best as we can. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. But we need to like, kind of expedite the process because then because if not, if you guys can't handle it, then it's more legwork on my end. Okay, now I got to chase this thing, figure out what happened, what's wrong. Was it a mismeasure? Did the supplier send something wrong, and we got to figure out their mistake and have them fix it, or what? Like what happened? And it's like they'll get to a certain spot, and we're like, okay, yeah, yeah, they're on it, and they're on it, and then it's like, oh, now it's like almost like it's their first day again. I don't know what happened. They throw their hands up. I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's tough. It is definitely tough.
It is, man. I feel your pain, dude, for sure. Yeah. The glass business is a tough business too, man, because it's like you can't just grab people off the street, I mean, it's not like being a landscaper or being even like a plumber or a roofer or a fence builder or something like that, to where it's like, ah, crap, well, you cut that picket wrong, grab another one, use it for firewood, whatever, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, I mean, it kills you when things aren't going right. So it's hard to scale, man. Well, you have to really kind of get to that spot where you can start to do it and have like good procedures in place and stuff. And that takes time. And where are you guys at, man? What is that? Is glass build going on? Is that started?
Yeah, we just got back. Just landed a few hours ago. It
All
was
right.
awesome. It was great. Got to see everyone there, man. It was pretty dang cool.
I know. I so
Went to
much.
the co-op's Top Golf event. That was awesome. And then there was like the shower door design measure challenge. That was pretty cool. The thing they put on, and just really enjoyed the whole 3 day thing. It was pretty cool.
Awesome, dude. I'm glad to hear that, man. Yeah, I was curious if you were over there. I thought you might be.
Absolutely. About to start posting a bunch of content of the pictures we took and the videos we took, different collections I'm gonna try to get together. So
Fantastic. Right on, man. Cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I saw your face on Facebook.
Yeah. We did had some fun in Orlando too. We went to the I've never been to Orlando before, but that little icon park they have, the big Ferris wheel where you can stand in it, like go to the top, and a lot of cool things they had. So we had a lot of fun, had time to actually enjoy the city as well, which is why I love that there's these things we can go to industry specific that can be business trips, that can be write-offs, but also an extended vacation. This kind of filled all the categories. I was able to take the wife and actually enjoy the city, and a lot of people brought their families too and were able to enjoy Orlando itself, as well as be there for business day in and day out. Really cool. So next year's Vegas, I think, right? September or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
right. Orlando's where Disney World is, right?
Yeah, yeah, we did not make it over there.
Um,
I didn't know that was in our budget this time,
yeah.
but uh, but
Kind
yeah,
of a
that was
commitment to go to Disney World.
Where? Yeah.
yeah. We did not commit this time, but we saw a lot of cool things. It's great.
Awesome. Yeah, it's always fun, man, to go to those shows and just run into everybody, see people in person that you never get to see, and I miss it. I miss going, but maybe next time.
Vegas.
Yep, Vegas. Vegas is pretty close, like an hour flight from here, so something like
Did
that.
did anybody go see I'm not sure how to pronounce his name exactly, but Alibon
Yeah,
over there?
I think a lot of people didn't fly in that first day, but they were still able to get, I think, at least 20 people from what I saw in the pictures that they shared uh, for Elebon's tour. It was really awesome. I know a lot of people had some really good feedback and enjoyed it, and he put on a good hosting. But I saw a
Mhm.
decent crowd size just for the picture's sake.
That's nice.
Really cool of him to host. Wish he was
Yeah,
here.
yeah, it's awesome, man. Love it. Did the Dobmans do something too?
I don't know. I never ran into them. And then I see the pictures of them in the same spots I was in all around. So I was like, oh, we must have just missed each other everywhere. There are a lot of cool booths to go to and check out. And I know the Dobbins probably knew every corner of that glass floor. And I was kind of just sticking to some of the speakers, the AI speakers, that's more my area of interest. So that's the speaker I went to go watch. And as far as the people they had presenting information and the booths, I went to all the software booths to see the latest glass software and how it was being presented, what they're including, what features and upgrades they've made, and what other apps they're kind of working with to make it easier for everyone's tech stack. And that was really cool. A lot of companies out there doing some cool stuff. Haven't heard of Baka before, but they were a new one there that there's a few new Windows softwares. Of course, sure they pop up every day, but just cool to see options out there. It forces all the other players to reconsider their pricing and their offers and make
Mhm.
sure they're taking care of their customers. So competition can be a healthy thing.
Absolutely, I believe that. Yep, that's right. Cool, man. That's thanks for the good report, man.
Oh yeah. There's a lot more. Of course, I wasn't even, man, so much going on in all the corners. I'm only a small piece. I
Yeah.
know people were talking about some really cool things that were being shown that are not in my expertise. Did y'all see any highlights? Were y'all looking forward to anyone's rollouts of products that they said they were going to do at Glassbuild or around this time? Or is it usually the same?
I didn't
Nothing.
really hear about anything specifically. I love, new gadgets and tools and stuff like that, but I haven't heard about what's, the latest thing that's happening.
I know Sean Farrow, we saw him there, Mr. AGI Glass, the custom glass expert. He's always posting in the group that real cool, unique stuff, high end, just awesome. He was talking about some I don't know how much of his info I want to say out there, but he's doing some awesome things and he's gonna have the power to bring some awesome things to other people that want him to. And can't wait for him to show some videos of what he's got going on and what kind of stuff he's making and the kind of glass he's gonna be able to make patterns in. And it was showing a lot of pictures. I know he's gonna be able to present it and talk about it so much more, but I know everyone there was kind of really geeked about it. And he's good at what he does. So when he says, I got something to show you, you should probably take a second to check it out. So whenever y'all see Sean Farrow, tag him and tell you all about it.
Right on, yeah, absolutely.
Is
It's
it is
looking,
it like pattern glass or like or cast glass or something or what?
Yeah, something like that. I know he can do it much better. I know he's talking about two different companies he got involved with lately that he's able to produce this higher quality of designed glass and thicker and more customized ways. And he showed a lot of pictures of what he was able to do within the glass. And he was trying to explain it and no one could really visualize. But when he showed the picture, it said everything. No explanation needed. So I hope he can show one of those soon in the group. I don't know where he's at with doing that, but I know he's talking about that.
That's cool.
Very, very cool. And that
yeah,
was just him on the side. Yeah.
I saw Brandon DeCastro posted like some photos. So I was flipping through those. That looked like Looked like a good time was being had.
Yeah, I got to run into him a few of the days. I think every day I was there, we got to run into each other. Top Golf was a great event. A lot of different vendors and sponsors that were sponsoring the co-ops thing there. They were all in one spot together. So I got to meet like Jason with True Light. That was fun to run into him in person because he did a show here. He did a call here where he talked about products with his tech girl, Brittany,
Right,
and
right.
she came
Yep.
on and presented True Light's True Showers product, which I was really uh, impressed always to see someone that works in the factory, in the shop, that lived through the problems, and then they come and help build the solutions and the ideas for everyone to use. So it was cool to know that that's how it came about and who was involved in helping it get built because you can believe they are building stuff that's useful and cool to meet them in person now. You know, after they did our call a year ago and to go meet Jason there. Brittany wasn't there, but I got to meet his other partner there. It was super cool to see those vendors in person and the Glazer Software. Got to meet Amanda and them, and Smart Glazer was out there as well. Everyone was in force.
Yeah. That's a place to be, man, you know? Cool. So Cameron, you're talking about doing a home show. Speaking of shows, so like so how do you pull that off? Does that happen over a weekend or what?
Yeah, so we do typically like the one in Fresno is just a 3 day event. So it'll be set up is Thursday, so we did that today, and then 8 to 5, or no, I'm sorry, 10 to 5, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So I mean, is it like just you? Do you go out there and set it up yourself and man the booth and
Yeah, so typically my dad he'll come out with me. He'll help me do the setup, and then we'll kind of take turns. But most of the time, it's just me manning the booth. And then if I have somebody, a helper with me, whether it's my wife or somebody, to kind of hang out a little bit, I'll go, for about an hour, just go walk around and see if I can, drum up some contractor business, some leads, drop a business card, handshakes and stuff like that. Kind of see who's out there, any new contractors that might be, looking for a shower supplier or even tile guys and stuff like that too. So
yeah, dude.
it's been pretty good. I've made some good connections the last couple shows. Got some new contractors, and I mean, our first one we did was the spring show, and it was. I mean, we got probably close to about 20, yeah, about 20 showers, which was good. And then plus, like I mentioned earlier, we have a partner. Well, not a partner, but it's one of my biggest customers that we do about 99% of all their showers. And so when I'm out there to support them, we'll bounce,
What's up?
we'll bounce customers back and forth from each other, and yeah, it works out pretty good. So and then so I'll get whatever showers they sell too.
Nice. Yeah, kudos, man. It's like that's a big deal being as like, as needed as you are, around the shop to take time to do that, man. It's like that's something I never did, and it's good for you, man, having the energy to pull that off. It's a big deal. Work all week and then like spend the weekend doing that, man. It's like that's
So
no mean.
Cameron, what kind of marketing do you do like when you're doing that? Like what do you have? Do you do brochures or QR codes or do you like how do you keep track of leads that do come in from those events that y'all do?
So we're kind of old school in that aspect. I mean, I have a bunch of brochures made up that I use on even my sales calls and stuff like that. So it's just a trifold deal, and I just have it just real basic, with the different showers and different options that we carry, just basic stuff. And then business cards, and my business card actually has a little QR code on there with basically like a link tree, so it has all of our info as far as like Instagram, our Facebook page, our website, and all of our reviews. And then this year, in the past, I haven't really done any like promotion stuff, like coupons or whatever. But a lot of people have been asking me this last like couple months if we were going to do something. So I decided to do just a little special, like a show special, like, hey, anything over $1,000, you guys get a $100 off, shower.
Nice.
And then anything over 2,000, you get 150 kind of thing. So, and then I made it a short time frame. So basically, they have until the end of the year or end of January to redeem the coupon. Because then otherwise it just goes into our next shows. Then I'll probably do another one for the spring show as well.
What a great idea to try to incentivize, especially if it's a slow season you're used to. If you track your numbers, like Greg Stoll would say, and that year over year, this is kind of a season where your guys get less jobs. To incentivize people to book it now is definitely a smart move, and why
Yeah.
it's worth it to make that little dollar off or those deals. That makes a lot of sense. Some people I think are against it, but I think that's actually a smart move when you're doing it strategically like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing is because like typically the fall show we don't get a lot. It's a lot of tire kickers. They'll come in. Oh yeah, I'm thinking about it, and this kind of just gives it that little extra bump. So it'll be the first year that we've done it like that. So I'm eager to see how well it does. And then like as far as like keeping track of leads, like anybody that comes to the booth, we'll drop a card, and then I'll try to kind of engage with them to see what their interest is and how far in the process, if they're even looking. And then if they are, we'll get all their contact info, and then I'll have either myself or my secretary reach out to them on Monday and get everything, or even just schedule an appointment right then and there if they're willing to. And then once that goes into our system, then obviously I know, okay, hey, this is a home show deal, and I can kind of keep track of it that way.
Kind of on topic with this about incentives and stuff like that, not necessarily shows. It's something we've done here recently, doing it for one of my builders, and my dad just did it for one of his builders. And we're giving in their personal homes, instead of giving them like a personal home discount, which we do sometimes for their building their own when they're building their own homes. What I did for one of my builders is I'm giving them free ultra clear shower glass. So instead of having regular clear glass that they're used to, I'm giving them ultra clear glass so they can see it and be introduce them to this stuff, because some of them don't even really know about it. Some of them are kind of cheap and they just really don't know, and they don't know about it because we know they're not going to go for it on a normal basis. So we're kind of incentivizing them and showing them ultra clear glass because our margins on ultra clear are super high and really good. So we can show that to them because it doesn't really cost us much at all versus regular clear glass, and they're like, okay, we're going to start using this. So we have a couple builders. That's what we've been doing here lately. Been giving them in their personal homes ultra clear glass instead of giving them a discount, which it's probably actually more cost effective for us to give them ultra clear glass than it is to give them a 10% discount, honestly.
Yeah.
So, and then also if they like it and they start wanting to use it, then we can start making more money too and increase our margins on the regular orders that we're doing with them. So that's something we're trying.
I love that idea. Yeah, that's exactly the sort of thing that I've always liked to do, as far as like, instead of, having sales or giving discounts or whatever, if
Mhm.
you can give something to your existing customer, I mean, someone is already a customer, if you can give them like a free upgrade, like what you're describing, that's a great use of like marketing money.
Yeah.
Just like, hey man, check this out, see what you think. I'll do this on the house for you, no extra charge, man. I love that idea. I used to like, I would offer like a free mirror, you know. People would say, oh, can you come down 10% or whatever, they want a deal. Be like, look, I'll tell you what. I mean, I'll throw a free mirror up for you in one of your bathrooms, because it's like, man, that could, costs like
Mhm.
nothing. It's like maybe a good size mirror is like $100, in materials. And if you're already there, it takes like 5 minutes to flop one up if it's just not nothing custom or whatever. So that was a great way, or like a free coating, something like that.
I like the coating's nice too. I think people were talking about. I think you may have mentioned it before. Somebody's mentioned it before how they'll do free coatings for them sometimes here and there, or stuff with the coatings. But I like the shower, the ultra clear stuff because it's something they can see now.
Yeah.
They can see it when we put it in, and it's usually when they have like white tiles and stuff. We're trying to do it, so they can see it instantly and they can make a decision whether they like it better than regular glass instantly, and whether they want to change their projects that we're about to go measure, and like, hey, we've got to do this, or, eh, you know, so they'll start offering it as an option on their buyer sheets whenever they're getting contracts and stuff on the house. So I don't know. I like that because it's an instant
Mhm.
shower guard and stuff like that. We use shower guard, but
Mhm.
I don't like it. Like it's like you can't see it. It's hard to sell something you can't see,
Yeah.
Like it's not tangible. You can't see it, so it's not very fun to sell.
You have
It's
to
like
have, you have to be able to have like samples, of like treated glass and untreated glass and pull them out,
mhm,
put water on them or whatever, so people can see it beat up. I mean, if you can do
mhm,
something like that, it's pretty.
tangible.
The ShamWow presentation. I love how you're doing that, Chris. That's because that's what they need. Like, because originally, yeah, like it's like selling a warranty, but like if you do the
Mhm,
presentation, and that's one trick I saw them add to our like shower design case when we tried to go when I was in a salesman. We came up with the kit and like went to Home Depot, put foam in this thing, and put everything we could think of to like let the customer touch the sample, the idea, the glass, the handle. And the cool thing about that, whatever companies were handing us those two jars where you can show people how it looks in a jar if it's treated or untreated with the red iodine. But I like the idea of where Chris is going further. Put out pieces of glass, spray water on it, show them the buildup, show them a 10-year piece that's not treated and exaggerated like scum buildup and versus the other one, and then give them the free squeegee that you say they have to do every day. All you have to do is squeegee every day. You're like, I have to still do stuff, but here's the free squeegee. Like really all the way around. And it makes sense because some people are willing to pay $150 for a lead or for a referral, but they won't, give a customer a $50 product to up front win it over. It's like we're all paying for leads in different ways with time, energy, effort, or the good we did in the volunteer or the community. But I know these ideas can be seen in the iframe of marketing. If you see them just like ad dollars, you might be more willing to do these things. So like try it out just like you would an ad campaign, a dumb idea. Some of them don't work. So might as well buy 10 or 20 or 50 of these and go see if it works. I like the upgrade, Daniel. That's
Yeah.
what's better than clear glass instantly. Like,
Yeah.
thank you guys. They send a picture. The incentive for them to take a video and picture and talk you up is every day they wake up and look at that thing.
No, definitely. I agree 100%. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea.
I had a shower that was put in by somebody else with all white tile with 1/2 inch regular glass. And whoever did it made a mess of it. So we went back, replaced it with Starfire. So I have a picture of before and a picture of after. It shows greenish, and the other one is crystal clear. So I show people that picture and they go, wow.
Ooh,
Yeah, especially 1/2 inch too.
Oh yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. I tell people, the thicker the glass gets, the greener it gets, and
Oh yeah.
your tile is going to turn color on you.
One thing that I run into that's kind of fun, that people will look at the glass sideways and they'll be like, but it still has a green tint here. I'm like, okay, well, you're looking through like 28 inches of glass right now if you're looking at it like straight on the side profile. So I'm talking about looking through, like straight through, not looking down the side of the glass. So that's, obviously you've got like a 28-inch door. You're looking at 28 inches of glass.
Well,
if you're
that's the
looking
ambient
at
light
it.
too, you know.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by GlassGadget.com. Showcase Innovations creates tools that help shower door installers be more efficient and save time. Check out GlassGadget.com for more information.
I did a job for a guy and it was Starfire, Starfire. And he calls me up, says, "You didn't put Starfire in." I did too. Well, it's got the edge isn't clear. And then he says, "The sample you showed me, I never showed you a sample. Somebody showed him a little 6x6 sample. And that thing is clear. So I took another 3/8 glass to the job the next day. I told him to come out to the truck and I says, "Here's your regular glass and there's your Starfire." He goes, "Oh."
Yeah, I mean, even if you're looking just straight through the glass, if it's wider, yeah, I mean, yeah, a little 6-inch sample really doesn't show you what the color
No,
looks
no.
like, Um, yeah,
They even
because the
tell you
light
that with
diffracts
Starfire.
through it differently, than if it's a big piece of glass. I mean,
It's the room, the lighting and everything, but it changes the color of the edge.
yeah, I've had to prove to customers before. It's been rare,
Yeah,
but I've had occasions where I've had to like go to them with the paperwork and be like, look, here's my paperwork from the supplier showing
yeah.
that this is what I told you it was, because they've got these weird, yeah, they've got these weird, or bring out, both kinds of glass. Okay, hold them up, look through them. Yeah, it's a trip. I
Yeah,
got it.
we've got it in our showroom, and I have one display where I've got the clear panel next to the Starfire panel, and then I've got three backgrounds behind it. One being the white, and I have them stand on the X, look straight through at the white background. You'll see that, and then it's like, oh wow, and it's like instant. They know exactly. And then I've got a little a door tree. So basically, it's a post in the middle of the showroom, and it's got four doors around it with clear, Starfire, satin etch, and then rain. And then I'll just fold the two clear door, the clear and the Starfire side by side, and then do the same thing to show them the edge. Because it's the same thing, like you're saying, is those little 6-inch, little samples you get from Vitro or Oldcastle or whoever
Yeah.
do not do justice because it's yeah. So it definitely helps having the full size samples to kind of give them a better picture of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can give somebody an idea of like, okay, here's kind of the difference with, just those, because it's hard to, when you're going out on a sale, it's hard to carry, like big pieces of glass or whatever. I've just got, a couple of little pieces that fit in your kit,
Yeah.
whatever, that you can whip out and be like, okay, hold them up to something white, like, see, look through this one, look through that one, you see the difference, you know. And it's really amazing how often it was surprising to me how often people would opt for the extra clear glass, even when I didn't really expect them to. But it's part of my pitch, right? Get kind of
Yeah.
the end of the sale. It's like, okay, they've bought, right? And now you're just kind of adding on whatever. I'm not a big
Yeah.
high pressure sales guy. It's pretty soft sale kind of guy. It's just my style. But I always get to that point, like, okay, now it's something I need to tell you. And it's that, clear glass, has iron in it, and that's what gives that green tint, and it's like there's glass that has less iron in it. So it's more clear, and here's what it looks like. And it costs a lot more. It costs quite a bit more, significantly more for the extra clear glass. But it's an option. And it is amazing how often people will be like, yeah, I don't like that green color.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've
No,
heard,
same.
yeah,
Yeah, same. I got a similar pitch as well. It's like kind of go through all the options and then get them, basically to where they're comfortable, and then lay it on them like, hey, just heads up, and then I'll mention the Pinterest deal, and if because you can always tell the Pinterest customer most of the time. And I'm like 99% of the stuff that you're seeing on Pinterest is more than likely is Starfire or some type of ultra clear glass. So just want to manage expectations here. This is just to cover myself. This is what it is. And then I have it in that brochure that I carry around too. I've got one that we did as a big giant corner shower, and they had it was a white background. It wasn't tile or anything. It was just like almost like a cement wall basically behind them. And I was like, you can see, the color difference. There is none behind it. It's just clear. And then I have another one on the top that will with some white and gray tile, and you can definitely tell the difference for sure. So.
Oh yeah.
Just like years ago, we did a couple of movie theaters, and it spec'd out low iron glass for the projector window. And back then, it wasn't like today. You just go buy it. You had to. I forget where we got it from. I didn't know why they wanted it. Well, yeah, we can't show the movie through regular glass. We'll change the color of the movie on the screen.
Huh.
Yeah, I never would have even thought of that.
Yeah.
Interesting. So there's that,
A little public service announcement to all the listeners. I did run into people at the show that told me they listen. Specifically, Bob Dugan had a message for me that anytime I talk, he usually just mutes it because he knows he can't hear me. My microphone is so bad. So I am using a new microphone today, which is my iPhone one for Bob Dugan out there. Also,
good job, man.
What'd you
there's a
say?
lot of people that tried to come into the room and during this call. So if you can't make it in the room and you're not here before it starts, it's harder for us to vet you and make sure you are a individual that isn't going to mess around with this live call we have to avoid hacking. Just email me at rob@followup.glass, rob@followup.glass, not .com, and I will let you in the room anytime during the call. But I haven't let in all the people that have tried to get in during this call so far. I know we want more people on the calls, but to protect our hackiness, these are the measures we have to take. So let me know. Just email us ahead of time, and I'll let you in next time and between the week, and I'll make sure I have you already ready to get allowed in the room, so you don't have to worry about the vetting process.
Thanks, Rob. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you using a different microphone too.
Can you repeat
I
what
know
you said? I didn't quite
you
hear.
don't want to say anything to the IT guy, man, about
You're welcome. I know that's what he said. He's like, for being the IT guy, you have the worst microphone of everyone on the call. He's like, I listen to every call, and I might as well just turn it off because I don't understand. It just sounds so bad. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. He's like, it might be my tendonitis. I'm like, well, either way, I'm gonna get a new microphone for you, and I'll increase my quality for all y'all. Sorry, tech guy.
Good
Over and
job,
out.
Bob Dugan. Yeah, I like that guy. He's a good guy. Yeah, thanks for that announcement. It's like another thing is if you use your full name, when you're trying to log in, when you're to the call, it helps us also tell who you are, So it's like your first name and your last initial. It's like we really don't have much to go on, but yeah, Rob will get you all like vetted to come in, and like we do want new people. It's not like no, we're trying to keep anybody out. It's fun having new people.
I thought it was cool. There was a dude that was commenting somewhere in the group somewhere that said he listens from Australia.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Somewhere I saw it.
Yeah, but I was gonna message him to join one night. I think I looked up the time and it was either 11 or 1 at probably around his area at the time we have the calls. But he did want us to know that although he's on the other side of the world, he's listening. So shout out to Australia, dude. Wish we had your name at the moment, but I'm not at the computer to pull up your name.
Australia, dude. Yeah, if you ever got like insomnia on a Thursday, just
Yeah,
click.
this is what you want to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Log
It'll
on.
put you right to sleep. No.
Uh,
Absolutely.
Well, hey, I got the deposit on that switchable glass job. So official.
Ooh. So
Bingo
like,
bango.
so is it a lot?
Yeah, it is crazy expensive.
Are
It
you buying
was
dinner or what?
what's that?
I said, so you buying dinner or what?
Once I get it installed, maybe.
All right. Are you gonna do if it goes well, are you gonna make a lot of money on it?
Yeah, I'll make I mean, it'll be definitely. It's the most expensive single shower job I've ever done for sure. Yeah,
Oh,
it was cool, man. I mean, I've learned a lot, and it's I don't know, it's been quite the process just finding somebody that will one that will do it because I had gotten a couple leads from well one when the customer when they first started they were going with one company and I did not get a fuzzy feeling working with them right out of the gate. It was just like just basic install info, technical info. It just they couldn't give me anything over the phone. He was just more just like just a sales guy, and I'm like, well, okay, this is just basic questions. I mean, you should know that. He said, well, just put it in an email and send it to me, and I'll get it to our senior technical advisor. And this and that. I'm like, okay, forget it. Like I'm moving on. So then I reached out to the one I landed on is Smart Glass Toronto, I think, because there's a few Smart Glass up in Canada, and they've got like different branches, and so it was kind of weird. But yeah, he was very helpful. He was a little bit more pricey than another one I was going to go with, but the cheaper option, their lead time was crazy. It was like 8 to 10 weeks out versus this other guy. He was like uh, 3 to 5 weeks. So it was a little bit quicker. Um, and he was kind of the process with the glass too. It as far as a shower was a little bit better. They do like some type of resin on the outside because it's laminated,
mhm.
and he does some type of resin around the edges, so there's no wicking for the lammy and all that stuff. So I was impressed by that. So I'm like, all right, cool. And yeah, because I reached out to even like Pulp out of LA. They do the switchable glass, but they don't do anything for showers. There was one other one, Halo. They will do it, but they were like 60 to 80 days out or something like that. And what I found out is the guys that have like the super long lead times, they're getting it out of China, ordering it from them, and then getting it shipped overseas. So that was the big difference too. So when the guy told me his lead time, I'm like, okay, so he's actually producing the glass, so he's kind of got eyes on it, and so I felt a little bit more comfortable that way too.
Yeah. Oh,
So yeah, it's been
wow.
a process, but yeah, I just got the deposit Monday. I'll be placing the order officially tomorrow, and yeah, I'll keep you guys
Awesome.
updated. I'm gonna try
Fantastic,
to
man.
get
Good.
as much video and everything once it's all done, and take
Uh-huh.
some cool shots, and I'm excited. It'll be cool.
Yeah, I'll bet, man. That's a big deal, dude. I never did do one of those. I got a sample. That was pretty cool. I probably still got it around here somewhere. So you could,
Yeah,
plug in, switch it on and off, little like,
yeah,
I don't know, 6-inch sample or whatever. But
hmm
nobody ever bit, man. It was like it's expensive, man.
yeah. Oh yeah.
They have
Like they
anything at
do.
glass built on it?
Well, I didn't go to Glass Build this year. Last year I saw there were two companies. One that stuck out was Polytronics, and I reached out to them and they never got back to me. So I don't know what's going on with them. But that was like their whole deal was that switch like their switchable glass. And Smart Glass Technologies was the first one that kind of fell in my lap when I got hit up on the job, and they were the ones I didn't really feel very comfortable with them. Smart Glass Country, he was the most competitive as far as pricing, but he was pretty stuck on the 8 to 10 weeks out for to get it to me. So that's what kind of yeah. But then there's also like so with him, he's got two types of film. There was the classic and then there was like an ultra clear, and he was willing to do the upgrade with the ultra clear for free because he's been pushing. He's like, yeah, you know, the classic, it's great. He's all, but it does have a haze, and I think for your application, it would look a lot better going with the I don't remember the term he had, but it was the upgraded version. And I was like, all right, well, cool. So this one that we're going with, they opted for just the standard clear glass, but the technology, I guess, that's going in at the film is a lot better. And he was saying it's like a 3-stage film. And I'm like, all right, well, cool. Well, let's see. So, but yeah, it's a corner shower that we're doing. It's huge. It's 108 for the height. They're 107. One side is 68 inches and the other side is 59. So we'll have a 30-inch door and then a little side light. One thing we learned with the way that, because of the height, is they have to run the leads on the sides versus the top to make sure that they get full, I guess, amperage to go all the way through the glass.
Wow.
Because the little skinny side lights, that's what they were having issues with. They're like, you know, when you switch it on, it's kind of like a wave. So we got to make sure there's enough juice. And so we're going to run the leads top and bottom. But luckily, they're doing a steam shower setup. So we're going to run channel all the way around to kind of finish it off. And then I can kind of hide the wires and stuff in there. So it'll look pretty clean. I'm excited.
What is the turnaround time like on it? You said 8 to 10 weeks for that one company. What is it from the one you went with?
Yeah, so this guy, he is because the big panel was considered, I guess, custom for them. It's a 3-week. He was able to get it down to 3-week as far as production, and then it'll probably be about a week and a half or so for them to ship it.
So 5 to 6 weeks roughly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good though for something like that, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, I wait 2 to 4 weeks for antique mirror sometimes that comes from New York. So.
Oh yeah.
That long?
Wow.
Who are you getting? Kind of random, but who are you getting your antique mirror from?
We use 2 different sources for it. We stock the charcoal antique mirror from Gardner, Dream Walls, and then because I have a cabinet company that likes to use that as a standard thing, so we keep like 4 sheets in stock for them at all times. Try to, and then when they need more options, we use Spancraft. So Spancraft has us listed as like the source for their antique mirror in Georgia. So anytime somebody calls them looking for antique mirror in Georgia, they refer them to us, which is kind of cool. So
nice.
but that's so that's who we use. They have, I mean, a bajillion options on antique mirrors. We have a couple of their sets, and then we just so we order it, but it takes 2 to 4 weeks, and that's who we use. But when I'm selling it, it's like they have to know they're limited to size. When they're buying from Spancraft, they're limited to sheet sizes, and they got to buy the whole sheet. Whether they use it or not, it's up to them. And then the Dreamwall stuff, we can do bigger jobs with like 1 sheet. We've done, hell, I think for a restaurant one time we did a 130 by 72 inch piece from them. It was not fun, but up on a bar backsplash. So, but you can, from them we can get bigger sheets and do what we want with the sizes.
Yeah. Yeah. We get, I've gotten a few from Avalon, which is more local for us. It's down in LA, and they've got, a good selection of stuff. But yeah, they crate it and ship it and everything too. They don't deliver it to us. We have to get it. Either we'll call or get it shipped. Right.
Yeah, the freight is like, I think $500 for freight, and then it's pretty intense. And then anything over 4 or 5 sheets is like $100 per sheet additional after that. So,
Oh wow. Actually, I mean, as far as the cost, that's still pretty good. Ours is, it's like what was it, like $250 just to crate it, and then like $8 to $1,000 just to ship it, depending on the size.
yeah.
So yeah, it can get pretty expensive just in the shipping for us.
It's crazy.
We buy from Spancraft, but it doesn't take that long to get it.
No, takes us. Usually it takes 2 weeks. It just depends on whether they have it available. Like I just ordered 4 sheets of the Saturn design, and it's
Yeah.
back ordered until like then November 28th is I think our ship date.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's just usually it's 2 to 4 weeks. Just depends on when their truck is leaving from New York to come down this way. They have, and I say truck, that's very loose. It's just a nice Mercedes van that a guy stacks them high in there and delivers them down the East
Well,
Coast.
we get regular freight truck out here, and they come in
Where's Spancraft out of? Is that the one out of New York?
New York,
Yeah.
Got it.
and it comes in it's all styrofoam and cardboard, and I've never got anything broken.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never had any issues ordering from them with stuff broke. The only thing I had issues with was like a tabletop glass. We ordered some like standard size tabletop glass because it's cheaper. They've sent like 3 times in a row they sent the wrong damn piece. You know, they sent one with just the wrong edging or the wrong polish. You know, is that kind of crap. So I think the third one was the correct one, but it took them 2 tries to get it. You know, that was interesting. But the
Well, we'll get
antique
it shipped here,
mirror.
and then we'll turn around and send it back up to our fabricator in San Jose, and they'll cut it and polish it. And
Yeah. Yeah, I've never had issues with the antique mirror though. Yeah, never had a piece come broken. We had an issue with a batch where we did have one issue where it was laid on a drying rack when I guess it was manufactured. It dried, and you can see the prints from the rack that it was sitting on because all 3 sheets of this particular one, you could see like lines going through it, and it was like I was like, son of a bitch, how do we fix this now? And we sent them pictures. You could see it in pictures and everything, so it wasn't hard to show them like, hey, this is what's going on. And I can't remember if we figured out how to cut around it or if we had to order like one additional sheet or something like that. But we cut it ourselves and polish it, you know. So we were able to. I think we were able to work around some of it, if I'm not mistaken. But it took a lot of mental calories to figure out how to cut it and chop it up because it was all out of square and stuff, you know. So
we bought some mirrors from some place back in Kentucky, I think. The designer wanted it. That's what she wanted, and the opening was out of square, so I sent him the drawing, and we got the mirror back, and you cut it backwards. Or they silvered the wrong side. They cut the glass and silvered the wrong side. You know.
happens. It's nicer knowing it was you though. Like I can stomach making a mistake, but when it's somebody else and it's antique mirror, that's
Well, came in and we're trying to lay it out, and wasn't working out, so I got a piece of cardboard, cut it to my pattern, then put it on the piece of glass and figured out what they did wrong. Oops.
Yeah, Spancraft has a lot of products. I've used them before too. I mean, for there are certain things like if you need like a round mirror, especially something beveled or whatever, a beveled tabletop. I mean,
3/4 inch thick.
yeah. Yeah, I mean they're
Like some
not
weird stuff.
cheap, but they're accessible.
It's cheaper than having one made yourself, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I've always had good results. And they've got a lot of products. Dude. They've got like all kinds of like brackets and clamps and even like you can order shower doors from them and all kinds of stuff. I've never tried that, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check them out. Yeah, because the only one I've had luck with was Avalon. But even then, sometimes they can be kind of a pain in the butt to work with.
Yeah, check them out. They're
You can
pretty
get a whole
good.
sample box from them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I've got their two sample boxes. One of the mirror and then one of the antique mirror, and then they have like specialty mirror with like different colors and stuff, like peach and blue, green, and crazy stuff like that.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Not too
We
bad.
use we use a lot of bronze and gray mirror too. We'll do for one of our builders in particular likes to use it. So, but we do always order that just per job.
Yeah. Do you guys, Daniel, do you guys do, well, obviously you do fab work in there. Do you guys have like an edger and stuff like that too?
Yeah,
Or
we
you
have
do
a
hand
nice
polishing?
couple years, about 2 years ago or so, we bought a new polishing machine, replaced our dinosaur, and it's nice. I think it has like nine wheels on it, so it does a nice high polish. So it's
Nice.
God, I can't remember the name of it. Something with like a B Brothers Braid or something like that. But it's from Miami, Florida, is where the company that sells them came out of. Can't remember. Somebody has one that's in our group too. It's sent videos. I have videos that I posted of it, so somewhere.
Yeah, that's
But
something I've been thinking about is I want to get at least a polisher because we get requests for mirrors all the time. And that's the thing, it's like you know, have a little bit more control if I just do it myself, like on, out of square stuff or whatever, and a little
mm,
cheaper that way sometimes. But yeah, I think next year when I go to glass field, that's kind of what I'm keeping my eye out for. That and maybe buckle down and actually buy one of those drill presses too, instead
one
of doing
thing
it
you
by
gotta
hand.
consider when you're buying one of these things, like we ended up having to get a phase converter for it. So it was, just things you don't, if you're not a traditional manufacturer, you don't necessarily know all these things. And we had to get a phase converter
Yeah,
for it, and that was like $8,000 or something like that in addition to the machine. So it was, it's, I think the polishing machine we got was around like 50,000, and then the phase converter, and then and then all the copper wire it took to run it, like run the lines to it and stuff. So it was, but it's nice. It was a nice. We cut a lot of mirror, so and we polish a lot of
yeah.
mirror.
Does it do just a regular flat polish and then I'm assuming like a pencil polish, or do you do bevels and
Yeah,
stuff too?
it just does a flat polish with a nice little. It has like the small little beveled edge on it. Kind of like a shower door looks basically. It's got
Yeah, a
the
little
flat polish
chamfer.
with yeah, whatever the hell that is. Yeah. So it's got two wheels on. It does that twice. So four of the wheels are for that small little bevel that's on the edge, and then the other five are for the flat surface polish.
Gotcha. Oh, that's
I'll
cool.
I'll post a video again of it somewhere. I have one.
Nice.
Yeah, typically I just go down if we're cutting something ourselves. I've got a buddy down the street that they're kind of like our big brother. They do ton of glass and commercial stuff, and they've got a polisher that I'll just, if it's something small, I can just run it down there with my truck. I'll go over there and he'll let me run it through a couple times and get a little finished edge on there real quick. But
What a
I'd
great
like to.
deal.
Yeah, well, it's always like he kind of does it on the side. Well, not necessarily on the side. Like he'll let me go do it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, anytime." He's like, "Well, not anytime, but."
He's
Can't
not
run
coming
your shop
home.
out of mine.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah,
coming from his house to unlock the shop to let your ass in there.
no, 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 nothing like that. No, but yeah, it's just every once in a while if I'm in a pinch and I can use that once a month type of deal or once every other month.
hmm
That's awesome. It's great to have a connection like that, man.
Yeah,
It is very nice being in control of your manufacturing on the mirrors and stuff like that. I can only imagine how that is also affected on the shower door side, like with
Oh yeah.
the people that are doing that, like the control you have over it. I mean, you have the control of it, but you also have the responsibility for it too. So you got both. But
yeah,
being responsible for it and knowing whether it's right or wrong is pretty nice.
yeah. Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
know
yeah.
Shannon talks a
Especially if
lot
you,
about that.
Mhm.
We cut our
Robert, do you guys manufacture your guys on glass?
No.
Okay.
Well, technically, I'm not a part of a glass shop actually anymore. GCS Glass was my first, the glass shop I kind of got known with and started with. It was Ames Glass before that, the first one, and then GCS is the one I really kind of helped in the industry and jumped around in all the locations, and then got involved with everyone else. But now I just handle the software side of and the tech and all the nerd stuff and all the stuff the owners don't want to do, so they can stay focused on the glass company side, and I stay focused on the other side. But I still keep good tabs and the conversations I love, like Shannon with DT Glass talks about that controlled factor, being responsible factor. And then what happens is you start to empathize with these vendors that you used to, give a lot of crap to. And now you're the one that made 3 pieces that were wrong in a row. And you realize like sometimes it ain't as easy to get it right and to keep the machine maintained. And, but the cost ability for you to mess up 4 glasses is a lot better than for you to pay a supplier to mess up 4. So, there's a pro and con to it, but you definitely get a little more empathy for the manufacturers when you become one.
Yeah. We still cut our stuff by hand, so like all our mirrors, we're cutting it on a table with straight edges and stuff, and it can be fun. Yeah, if I could get something, if I can invest in another piece of material, it's going to be like a CNC, some sort of machine that can cut it, so that I can hire a tech person to run a machine that will cut my mirrors for me when they're custom and stuff like that, and a nice table that will lift up and take glass. That'll probably be the next thing one day. So
Automate it. Yeah.
yeah.
Very sweet.
Cool. Well, hey, I see by the clock on the wall, it's been an hour, man. So guess I'll go have some dinner. And I want to thank you guys for showing up. It's always cool to hang out.
Yep, always a pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Thanks for having us, sir.
Absolutely. See y'all later. See y'all next week.
Next week.
Next
Bye,
week.
everybody.
Good night.